Alright, well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Grifball Evolve panel at PAX East. This is our first Grifball panel ever at PAX, and we're very, very excited to have everybody here. I'm just going to introduce the panel real quick. On my left is Burnie Burns of Rooster Teeth. Yeah. To my immediate left is Jessica Shea from 343 Halo Waypoint. On my far right is Green Team Tex, also known as JJ Shofner. He's the admin for Grifball.com. This right here is Cal Bulgarian, also known as John Lipe, and he runs the GGL, which is the Grifball Hub Grifball League. And I am your moderator. My name is Goose Cheka. It's also Kelli, but I prefer Goose. And just want to welcome you all here. And does anybody in here actually play Grifball? Know about Grifball? Yeah? Right. So just in case there's a couple shy people in here and they haven't ever played and you wound up here on accident, Grifball is a single bomb assault game type in Halo Reach where it's red versus blue, and the objective is to plant the bomb in the enemy plant, watch things explode, and kill people with hammers and swords. So, kill Grif, that's what, yeah,
red
pretty much.
Blue versus orange.
Yes, exactly. But rather than talk about it, we're just going to show you it. This is a highlight reel created by Pubtastrophe, who's done a lot of really amazing work, so I hope you enjoy it. So you probably know Burnie Burns pretty well, and you know that he is the creator of Grifball and the reason we're really all here. So Burnie, could you talk a little bit about, how Grifball even started?
Yeah, sure. We, in the history of doing Red versus Blue, when we were working with Bungie on the Halo games, I should say, when we were working with their game to make Red versus Blue, we never really got early looks at things. Occasionally, Bungie would come to us and ask for features that would help people make movies in the game, and like lowering the weapon. There were other things we asked for that never made it in. Lowering the weapon always seemed to make it in, though. The one exception to seeing things early was the map pack that had Foundry in it for Halo 3, and it was in December. They were putting it out, and they were really busy with it. And they said, "Hey, we don't have time to make a video to really showcase this. You guys think you could do something fun with it? Could you do an episode of Red versus Blue that showed off the 3 different maps?" And it was Foundry, Standoff, and what was the other one? What was that? Rat Race, yeah, in that one. And so we did it, and then so Foundry was the first map that was the kicker for Forge, right? I mean, that was the Forge map. And so we were goofing around. It was me and Gavin Free, who was in town at the time. He's a guy from the UK who's part of our community. Do you guys know Gavin at all? Yeah. So we were kicking around, and I've always loved alternative sport game types. And I'm also really terrible at Halo matchmaking, so those two things in my life came together. I was playing around with Gavin. We made 2 different game types. We made one that was a paintball game type that we never really did anything with, which is 1 shot, 1 kill with little barriers. And then we did this thing that we initially called rugby, where you had to just score by planting a bomb, and it was turned to essentially assault into like a basketball kind of a game, is what mixture of basketball and rugby. And then we started messing around with it. We realized that you could set the bomb carrier traits to change their color, and we changed the color to orange so you could see it. And then Gavin, remember, we had some dumb reference in season 4 of Red versus Blue where Grif is on a cliff, Sarge is shooting at him, making him go back and forth like a duck at the carnival, and Sarge says, "This is the best game since Grifball." And it was just like some stupid game type that Sarge would have played, where Grif got killed a bunch of times, and so that's how the name stuck for Grifball. And so it seemed like this really well-planned thing that we did, but it wasn't at all. It was just this just this stroke of luck, really. And that was between season 5 of Red vs. Blue and when we started Reconstruction. And then we started Grifball.com. We had our developer Ben make the league site with all the stats and all that. And ran that for, I think, 2 seasons, which took me about 4 months. And at that point, I was like, wow, it's, we haven't had a new Red versus Blue season in a while. I had this idea for Reconstruction. So then we essentially turned it over to the community. Caleb, who's here? Caleb, where are you? Caleb ran the leagues for a really long time, PP Moo Cow. And Jack also ran. He was called Monkey at the time. He ran, I think, the 4th league, and now Jack is the lead on Achievement Hunter over at Rooster Teeth. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And the cool thing about it was that it eventually got included as a game type. And the reason why it was able to make it actually into the hopper was because it wasn't what they call an honor game. You didn't have to sit there at the beginning of the match and say, okay, now we're not gonna do this, or this is how we play, or when you get killed, turn green and get out your sword and play a zombie. It actually worked within the rules of the game, so they could just stick it into the hopper. So if you're interested in custom game types, if you can make something that actually does fit the rules of Halo, it might eventually make its way into the hopper someday. So.
Now, what's it been like watching something that really started off as an accidental and a joke? It now has its own playlist in Halo Reach, and it is the most popular playlist 99% of the time. What's it like seeing how Grifball has evolved?
Wow, it's been really cool. I mean, if you talk about how it's evolved, it was really awesome to make something and be the only person who knew the rules. So I got to be the best person in the world at something for about 24 hours, which was great. It was actually, we played a hump day against Bungie way back in the day, and they slaughtered us. It was one of the most embarrassing hump days of all time. And then we played them in Grifball, and they kept emailing us saying, yeah, we want to play this custom game type that's getting more popular. What are the rules? And we say, oh, we'll mail those to you in a minute. Then when we came down to play the match, we said, well, you'll figure it out the first match. And so we destroyed them, I think, like 9-0, and then they finally scored a goal in the last match. But that was a nice vindication for us, I think, more than anything else. It was just really cool. It's really, we started doing Red vs. Blue as fans of Halo, massive fans of Halo, and that never changed. And so it's crazy to see something that's such a big part of our lives, and then we get to contribute something to it. It's hard to explain, but it's one of the most awesome things of all time.
And what do you see for the future of Grifball, or what's coming up?
Well, I think it's more for you guys to determine. I mean, once we turned it over to the community, now, like I said, when we first started playing and nobody else knew the rules, we were some of the best players in the world. But now when I get in and play, there's people flying over my head and jumping off parts of the wall that I don't know exist. And when I first started playing Grifball, it was played on the ground, and now apparently it's not. There's like 3 tiers, and so I live on the bottom tier where I just run around and say, I think he went that way. So I don't know. With Reach and everything, I started playing again in Reach, and the hammers are completely different, so I had to readjust there. So I'm just looking forward, as always, to what the community is going to do with it.
Awesome. All right, now, Jess, you're a little bit of a Grifball fan too, right?
Okay, this took me like 2 weeks to come up with, so if you could laugh, that would be awesome. I happen to think Grifball is the bomb. The bomb, get it? The bomb? Thank you, and I'm done.
Well, I mean, what initially drew you to Grifball?
Fred may be correct. I have a penchant for accidentally betraying, as that video already showed. Grifball definitely showcases my skills in that department. I really like Grifball because I see it as like a microcosm of Halo. Halo is this great big universe, right? And you can like only the campaign, or you can only play matchmaking, or you can collect the toys, or you can be super into the fiction and the novels. And Grifball kind of allows the same experience, where people like me, I know how to pull this right trigger so I can kill people in Grifball, right? But then there's also people that do these crazy ass jumps and these moved, they have these moves called flowers, and they have launches, and so there's several different levels you can play it. I know some guy named 42 that makes panoramas. So he plays Grifball and then just makes these gorgeous screens. People make the courts. I love that it's whatever you want it to be. For people like me, pull trigger, or whatever level you can actually take it to for people that actually have skills.
But the cool thing about it too is that even if you're an average player, you can still have those incredible moments. Like a guy in that piece where he got the Killionaire, and somebody dropped the ball right in front of the goal. He knew, I'm not going to score that goal. I'm going to go for my Killionaire. Because I would never get a Killionaire in any other kind of matchmaking ever. But it's like, I've gotten 2 so far in Grifball. It's like, those moments are just, they're unique to Grifball, and that's what I like about it too.
Yeah, there are lots of epic win moments in Grifball. Probably more than any other playlist, I think, is, oh my gosh, how did that just happen? And there's a lot of tension and anticipation of, oh, I have no shields, I've got the bomb, I'm so close, when he's going to spawn. Do I drop back? Do I push forward? Do I stiff arm? Do I retreat? And it's very, very tactical, and it's very, as you can tell, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, there's also a lot of garbage that you can pretend you completely planned beforehand.
Yes.
That's on there.
Like most of those clips. So I know 343's been a really big supporter of Grifball. You guys have, you've done mini-series with Grifball and Rooster Teeth. You allow us to do Team of the Month and highlight videos once a month. What is it that 343 finds in Grifball that they enjoy so much?
I would say 343 in general likes the same things that I do. We really love your community. We love these communities that branch off and that do their own thing. They're really positive. They draw people in. They allow you to play the game in a different way that maybe other people don't. We love that, and we love to support that in the communities that do that. We love Rooster Teeth a lot. Probably more than we should. When they came up, who came up with the idea for the Grifball miniseries? Was it you? Was it us? Was it me?
We were talking. We were talking about for 343 for Waypoint when it was launching content that we could provide. And we thought, well, let's do something that's unique to 343 or to Waypoint that people would want to see. And because it was so big in the Halo community, it just seemed like a perfect fit to do something in Grifball. And it was something totally new and fresh that we could do.
So they wanted to do this mini-series, which all I heard that he just said was that it was my idea. Mm-hmm. I'm always coming up with good stuff like that. And so they pitched these 3 great storylines. And we're such nerds, and we love Halo, and we love them. So, we're back there. Oh my God, these are so awesome. And we're dancing. But then we go to them and we're like, yeah, let's do that one. Acting like we're all cool, right? And we're not the biggest fanboys ever. So what we knew we were going to do, but we didn't tell them because we didn't want to freak them out with our fanboyness, is we said, yeah, let's do this one. And then they finished it, and then we said, hey, let's do this one next. And then they finished that one, and then we said, hey, how about this one over here too? And now we're on the 4th one.
Which was kind of a surprise because we just combined all the jokes from the 3 pitches into the first one, so then we had to write all new stuff. And we actually have a new one that we've been producing now. It's the work stoppage one. So far we've done, this will be our 4th one, I believe, that we've done for Waypoint. And we're, I don't know the exact dates, but it should be up to, I think, sometime in the next month and a half. There's a lot of stuff happening with Halo between now and then. So we'll be sometime, I think, in the hopper for the next probably 60 days, I would say.
Does anybody watch the Grifball miniseries on Waypoint? Nice. So we started with 0 tolerance, then we went to franchise player, then we went to expansion. Now we are going to double agent, and it's not out yet, but I thought maybe we could do a sneak peek.
Yeah.
If you're interested.